This is two shy guys a mile high, and we're gonna run it like this.
Certified on the track.
Yo, customer service, man. Like, best and worst experiences, maybe. You know, I don't know. Cause that's important in teamwork, man. Like, you gotta give good customer service, bro. We can't be out here fugazi with it. Cause I'm not coming back if it's trash. Are you coming back to trash customer service?
No.
Okay.
I mean, Chick-fil-A ain't give you no spoon.
I was pissed, but
You gonna go back?
I will, because the level of severity is very low compared to, some of these egregious ones, man.
No excuses.
No.
Bad customer service. They should have
But
given you
that ain't-
everything you wanted.
Okay, but that's expected perfection. Now, I'm saying we've been places that you served you
Standard work.
perfection.
If I'm paying for a product, why shouldn't I expect perfection?
That's fair, but humans are not perfect, right? So, but no, I'm saying this. You've had some experiences where you're like, okay, the waiter forgot 2 napkins versus my food was cold, or you just didn't even come check on me like 30 minutes into the meal.
It all affects the tip to me.
Well, see, but you still rating it on a scale of customer service, right? Because you would go back to, I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there, with Cheesecake Factory or something like that. I mean, it's pretty standard. We've had bad experiences there. Let's be real. I mean, I've had some bad experiences, but I've gone back and I've had some stellar ones too. So,
Man, you just said something though, P-Dub. It affects the tip. How can it affect the tip if it's already built into the price of the meal? Because honestly, I ain't gonna lie, Saints, I'll be out here trying to bless the community when I be trying to tip, you know what I'm saying? But if you already doing it for me, I'm not. I need to evolve in my thinking to make sure to know that, okay, the waiter or the waitress did not, put that rule on the menu, so why am I punishing them? But right now, the way I be feeling, if it's already baked in, I'm like, yo, you ain't getting $1 more.
you talking about that extra 20% gratuity now?
Because it's already baked into the tip. Because that just hit me when you say, well, it'll affect the tip. But at the same time, if it's you already got your standard.
20% is pretty standard. Most people do double tax anyway. But if you coming in already with 20%, like
people, I knew somebody who, bro, this cat said, and like it was so G the way he said that. He said, "Man, we got orders of food, we're chilling, we about to check out. You know what I'm saying, and get to our thing. And however you want to tip, but everybody, at least put like 15, 20." He just put 10%. He's like, I ain't giving them no more than I give the Lord. 10%.
Hey, wow.
Kept it so G. I was like, wow. I was like, come on, bro.
Logically sound.
It was logically sound.
That
I'm like, come on, bro.
man.
Oh yeah, definitely gotta. I mean, I work in an environment where we relied on tips, and it's based on going over and beyond the customer service piece, and that's just what I do. So I feel like even if the gratuity or whatever is already added in it, if someone goes over and above for me, my experience, then I might think additionally, like, okay, let's
extra
bless them with
motivated.
even this, because they went over and above, thinking what standard quality would be. So I'm like, if you get over my expectations, then.
But I think it happens less because a lot of people don't put the effort in once it's already built into there. So that the standard that we are setting becomes lowered. It's kind of degraded.
That's fair, but I mean, it now sets a different baseline. I mean, using those words, because if I know, this is just me, I'm gonna be real. If I'm commission based or whatever, tip based, you telling me I got a 20% buffer already? I'm getting 20% off top. Oh, I'm about to go above and beyond, because at this point I'm a guaranteed 20%. Why not get 30%?
Yeah.
Because like you saying, you come in, Drip come in, he gon' bless you. If I go above 20%, I'm going 120.
And then I'm coming in, you can be doing all that shucking and jiving, and I get $1 more.
But that's fair. Okay, but that's fair. I get it. But more likely, right? You know what I'm saying? Most people get it. They're gonna be like, hey, this dude went above and beyond. Now, if they don't explain to me, because I went to one spot where I ate, we did everything great, and then they said, "Oh yeah, by the way, this is added 20%." Like I ain't for that. You know, tell me up front, like it's already included before I sit down. You know what I'm saying?
Be a little writing on the menu, and then they bring you that check
Right at the end, 20% already. I'm like, if I do that, I wouldn't. I might not. Maybe I don't come here.
Because there has been times I've been double whammy like that though, because I didn't know, and then you look back afterwards at your bills the next morning, like, oh, they already did the tip, and I tipped on top of it.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, just full
Depending on
disclosure.
when you go, some people in groups be like, you just like spreading the. You gotta spread the message. Hey, don't get double dipped.
Yep.
Yeah.
We not tell you not to tip, but it's already up in there, so that's additional.
And I seen it from the fact that I was with a team of folks, and when we splitting the bill, everybody didn't account for the automatic gratuity. So I hate when people try to leave just the amount without trying to add in the additional
Yeah.
gratis that you gotta get. You know what I'm saying? We was adding up at the end like, hey, we ain't got enough, bro. Man, they tried to tell us make it enough. Like this Friday Smoky Mama or something.
Come on,
I'm like,
for
hold
real?
on, G. Like, hey, team, y'all got they already gone. People try. Nah, fam, I ain't never getting hit with the wamboozle again.
No. But it's something about good customer service though that will get you invited back though. Like for real. Like you take that to leadership. You take that to anything. If you quote unquote paid to do a job, right? Okay, you get that. But now when you go and do work above and beyond, meaning you know you can do that extra 15 minutes of work if it's gonna serve you and your community well. People see that and they're gonna want to know, okay, how you do it. If it's a good culture, if it's a shitty culture, then they're gonna exploit that, right? So I'm saying we're assuming this is a culture of acceptance and a culture of, you know, wanting to see people succeed. If you come in there with a customer service mentality, meaning I'm looking for win-win, you're going to exceed. You're going to succeed in what you do. Is that fair?
Chick-fil-A, y'all the baseline. Cause I done went to Chick-fil-A one good time this past week. I felt like I was at Rude Chris, the way they didn't open the door for me,
Man,
the way they treated me
good.
and everything, it made me feel great. I was like, man, y'all made me feel like I had a A1 dining experience.
Man.
And they're known for that.
That's
Yeah,
important,
they are.
man. That experience, right?
I remember one time it was a time I think I told you about an architect. It was like I went to Popeyes versus the time I went to Chick-fil-A, and it's like I like the Popeyes chicken better in terms of like what it tastes like, but the Chick-fil-A service is what keeps me coming back to Chick-fil-A. 'Cause it's like, hey man, the time I went to, I ain't gonna say which location of Popeyes it was, but I went to this Popeyes over here, not far from the lair. And then they, you know what I'm saying, the customer service was just like, I was talking to one of the homies, they was just like, hey, what you need, man? When I walked up to the thing, what you need? And I'm just like, man, let me get that chicken, let me get that infamous chicken sandwich.
Oh, goodness.
And he was like, that's all you need, my boy? And I'm like,
wow,
okay. And I was vibing with it because it was like, I'm talking to somebody I know, and then they was just like, gave me the change, but you know, the transaction when they just sit it down versus put it in your hand is just a weird vibe, right?
Fair,
and then,
fair.
you know, I don't know why I had cash on me that day either, but you know, here's no there. But when I went to Chick-fil-A, like you said, you get that service like opening doors. Can I refill this lemonade up for you?
Right. No questions.
Going above and beyond
Right,
for the service.
right.
So I feel like what you put into it is going to get you that return, because it's that return is on investments. So
Right,
they
absolutely.
invested time there, they invested their time to serve you. You can get that return.
Man, that's... No, bro, I'm just saying,
That's
man.
all
Like,
you want, my boy.
Hey,
That's all you got, my boy.
So, my boy.
So I'm gonna go over there too if I want to get that.
You, my boy. No, it's silly too though. Like and I've seen that too personally, just traveling too. You know, in the hospitality industry, right? Like that's where that customer service really makes a huge difference, right? Like you got to. I mean, because that's your livelihood. You're talking about a service based in tips, right, or based in getting your money from tourists or people who are coming for the experience, right? You know what I'm saying? Now that's a different level of service. Now there's just different industries of service, right? Not to compare Chick-fil-A to, you know, something like one of the big hotel properties out there. We're not getting paid to say no property names or nothing. So one of these big hotel chains,
Send a check.
right? But they have a different approach to customer service, right? Because they're relying on feedback, reviews. They're not giving you they're not basing it on just food or something like that. It's customer service. It's cleanliness of rooms, or if you're in a hotel, it's board rooms, things like that you're doing business in. So there's so many multifaceted layers there in that area that your team got to be tight, man. It has to abide by that full mission and buy into that. Because if you don't, man, you got a few people that's the few outliers in the normal distribution curve, right? Unfortunately, if you're not keen to who they are or who they might become, then your customer service skills can get pulled down, and your customer service, I guess, reputation, if you will, could get pulled down because everybody's not buying into the customer is right, but you have to give them the experience to make it better, right?
So when you, not to put you on the spot, but when you built Bite-Size Academy, Bite-Size Learning, how was the customer service piece that you provide to your base clients?
That's fair. I mean, we're looking holistically, right, at not only child and where they, what arc they're looking to get to in life. We're looking at how can we serve their parents as well, and also the communities that they're involved in, because it's when children come to our academy, it's not just, okay, here's a lesson or here's childcare or whatever. It's how can you leave with more information, more security, knowing that you have a support system there to help you through this journey, right? It's about the relationship with child, with parent, with child and parent, with child, parent, and maybe their school system, right? So we're looking at it not just from client to client privilege. It's like, how can we serve our community best? How can we be there to listen, to be present, to understand, and provide the best resources we can for what we have, right? And as we grow, we're able to support more of the community. We're able to support more children and families. We're able to support, more youth and adults that are trying to, become the leaders that they want to become, right? And it starts early. It starts, like we talk about, planting that seed of customer service and service to others first, and not making it about just, yourself. Because if you make it about yourself, you're going to end up by yourself. And so, no, that's a good question, man. I appreciate that, because that's paramount to us, man. Like, because first of all, it's in home, and when you come to our place, it's going to be, you're going to feel like you're at home, right? You're not going to want to leave. It's like a sanctuary, and that's by design, and that's by intentionality, because I grew up in a home that was not as, I would say, stable. Single black mom trying to do what she can to make a way. But I noticed that, having the support of, a partner, having the support of a community, makes the journey, it makes it a little bit easier, but it makes it fun as well, because now you're able to bounce ideas off of different people that have gone through these things. And then you can take that and use it to your advantage. And that's what we're all about, right? That's why we do the podcast. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to take any lesson that we might have learned, whether it be good or bad, and give it back and articulate it in a way that makes sense to our audience and whoever can learn from that. Because that's the only way you grow, right? If we just kept this information, or if we just learned something and that was it, then what's the beauty in that? What's the point of that if we can't connect and disseminate information and then go deeper, right? Because that's what it's about. It's about connecting. It's about understanding, how we can be of service.
Yeah, and service plays a big part into like the fraternities as well, because it's like one of those main purposes or origins, backgrounds of what you support is like service, and just being there and being a righteous person, a brother or sister,
absolutely, in
the community, and what you can give back to the community, because we are blessed, to do the thing that we do, and to be able to have this type of podcast, to have this platform, to continue to be, three black men striving for excellence,
absolutely, and
continue to achieve as we do, and in this world, because we know it's a struggle. It can be a struggle. Life's full of ups and downs, but just being able to have that, like you said, team behind you, and that support system, it just makes it that much more bearable to be able to carry those type of weights that you do to support your families and friends and community.
Absolutely, man. That's where it's at, man. I know we've bonded over service, right? I mean, we've bonded over, being there for each other when times were tough, because everybody can have those fair weather friends, man, that's there when, oh, it's great, look at you, we out here kicking it, yo, hey, drink some of me, whatever. But when that storm come, and you look into the left, look into the right, and it's just, you know what I'm saying, like, there's nobody that's coming to help. It's like, that's when you got to go, okay, is it because of maybe we're hanging around, or is it because I'm not being more of service and the connection is not there? You have to start looking at how you approach things, how you connect with people, and how you connect with yourself. Because like you were saying, Drip, like that community is so needed, man. It is, because like in COVID, right? Like everybody realized, okay, who their community was and who was just kind of along for the ride. That storm, if you will, came in and exposed, okay, this is the real community, this is not. This is what my principles are, and this is what I thought they were. There was a lot of shuffling that went on, and like you said, being blessed that we are like this, man. We've been able to keep doing this and been able to keep delivering this content. We hope that's been, helping people.
I agree. Service. I ain't got much to say to add on to that. Y'all hit the nail on the head.
Oh, man, but you been about service, man. Engineer of the year, we ain't gonna never forget that, man.
The little things you can try to do. I felt good about doing something the other day. Actually, I was headed to Walmart because I had to go get something from the stove for the house, and then I noticed when I'm about to make the turn to go to the store that it's getting backed up. I'm like, at first I was getting real impatient. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Why ain't people driving right? But then I see that there's a guy just pushing his car, you know what I'm saying, by himself. And that's why it's getting backed up. Ain't nobody like checking the CV straight or whatever. So, I spun the block to a little spot where I could duck off and park. I was close to where the store was, and I got out and then I like help him like push the car across the street, like across the street to safety or whatever.
Look at that, man.
But, look at that. It's just a little
good
thing.
Deeds of the day.
Yeah,
man,
little things you do.
Deeds well done.
Man,
I really wasn't even gonna bring that up for real, but it just this is a little things you do.
No, but good thing you did, because think about that, man. Like if he was just out with his thumb out, would it have changed the way you approached it?
I don't know. Something that struck me. It was just the fact that it looked like it was somebody struggling. Nobody was just stopping to even see if he was okay. No, nothing. I don't want to say. I had compassion for the person, you know what I'm saying? I had compassion for my fellow man. Right. So I was just trying to make sure that he could at least get the whip to safety, and then went, helped them, then went about my business. It didn't detour me that much about my day, but it just felt right to do at the time.
Absolutely, because you don't know what you did for them, because that could have helped them just get further on within their day. It's like, man, because you already having a bad day, your car already shut down or stopped working, or you get a flat. So not every time that you have somebody there to support you, but you could have definitely been that one turning point that's like, oh, okay, things are still dope out here. People are still good. People still got good intentions to be out there to do something, because you didn't have to. You could have contributed to the amount of backed up traffic, however long, in the gallery of lookers, right, who didn't help. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you did could have been so profound, it might have changed that man's life, and it didn't take no time for you.
And the thing about it was so crazy, because I was kind of on myself, because I wanted to be out the house earlier, ruminating about how long it took me to get together to actually go run these errands. But at the same time, I was right where I needed to be, because if I would have went earlier, who would have helped him? You know what I'm saying?
Wow, look at that. And stay there for a second, man, because that's an interesting point, though, because I've looked at it a couple different ways when you were saying that. I'm like, you saw the traffic backed up, so you're like, okay, something's going on there. But a lot of people just didn't get out and help, right? And I'm thinking of it in myself, in my mind, like, I would have helped either just instinctually if I just see the person like by the car loudly with his hand out. But I see him pushing, or you see him pushing, I'm way more inclined to help a hand. You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody coming for a handout to you, right? An example. And they haven't done any work. Hey, could you help me with this term paper? Whatever, right? I don't date it myself. Term paper, right? You know what I'm saying?
What are those?
What are these? No, like, and like, but they haven't done no research, right? Versus somebody coming to you, hey, I'm 90% done. Can you proofread this? They don't need all the work. I just need a little bit of maybe somebody's eyes on it. You know, I'm just more inclined to help that person that's already started on the journey versus somebody that wants me to drag them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? Like, because
out
you
there trying to get it,
right?
He could
moving.
have stood there and waited for her to help him, and
right?
Then he could have been in the worst position. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Well, I'm gonna take it upon myself to do what I can."
Some people would have done less. Some people would just literally just got back in the car, sat, and called AAA, not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right.
I see the fact that that person was just out there by themselves struggling. I just, you know, just seemed like it was the right thing to do. And then at the same time, I'm like, man, what happened if, you know, maybe paying that forward? I don't want to be in that situation in the future, but I just would put myself in that person's shoes. I was like, if this was me, I would want somebody to help me out real quick.
Empathy.
And it didn't cost me any money or anything. It cost me my time and my effort.
Right.
But
That's empathy, man.
And you solve multiple problems by doing that. You solve the problem with the cat in the middle of the street pushing his own car, exerting his own energy, and you solve the problem of the cars being backed up. Now it's no distraction backing up the block. You know what I'm saying? So you saw that.
And check this out. I'm gonna hit you with this Matrix paradox. Somebody could have been on their way to deliver a baby or something.
Yeah, I was about to go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you don't got the traffic unjammed, and now they on the way to deliver that next Nobel Peace Prize winner. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many things that you don't, the ripple effects of being a good humanitarian, of just, like you said, having that customer service, bro. I just get so amped up about that,
man,
bro.
He's so I'll be amped up about that, man. The whole cast. He been doing the Arthur fist every time. That's why I've been holding it in. I couldn't do it. No
but you know, bro, come on, man.
He's serious
me.
about that customer service. Got the Arthur fist every time.
Let's go, bro. Because I want that experience, man. Like I don't have shitty experiences, man. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. And for me, that left a emotional sour taste in my mouth. That left a scar on me. Like, bro, like I don't want to come back here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna go back to Showbiz Pizza. Boom, before Chuck E. Bro, I saw that big ape come out. Scared the hell out of me, man. I'm 5 years old. But then they switched it up to the mouse. Hey, I'm cool with the mouse. So you see, my experience is different.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want no rat serving me no pizza.
What I mean? But you know what I'm saying? The experience was different. Same spot. But is that fair though? Like you're gonna go somewhere where the experience is nice. You're gonna go somewhere. What you stupid?
I'm just check on me Ninja Turtle, man. Master Splinter serving a Ninja Turtle pizza, man. I'm good.
That's what I realized, man. I don't want, just personally, man, whatever I have to do, within ethics, morals, and reason, right? Like, I'm going to give, my future family the best experience that they can get, man. Because I don't, I'm not saying it was a terrible childhood, right? My mom did the best she could, but we're in Chicago, man. The 80s, man. Like, Roseland, if you know those areas, Bronzeville, Cabrini Green, Idell Gardens. Y'all know them places if you're from Chicago. Like, them ain't, some of the places you walk in, you might not walk out. So, having some experiences that didn't go well for me in life, I said, I don't want that for my friends, my family, my team. I want to be able to at least set the boundaries properly where we can have the best experiences for what we got. We ain't going above our means. We ain't balling out and going into the red. We're trying to do it with reason, with awareness, right? That this elevated experience that we might be able to show or help somebody experience could change their whole perception about where they could go, right? Like even engineering, I had no idea.
See, I don't know those areas, but we got somebody else from this shot here. Is he telling the truth about these areas?
He's telling the truth. But, hey, I'm from Hyde Park, but we moved to the south suburb, Riverdale. area, so I know what he's talking about. And it was a little bit before my time too.
But either way, places that you would, you gotta be full swivel.
Yeah, he definitely talking that talk.
Has the area really changed over time, or has it still been the same? You feel?
I feel like gentrification is a thing, and especially when Chicago was in the bids for the Olympics, they wanted to get to the point where they cleaned up downtown, make it more presentable to having that amount of like people in one place. So they tried to get the systems, the transportation systems, the highways cleared up, gentrify the area so it'd be more accommodating for a large amount of gatherings. But you could definitely tell how things are, and it's definitely some of those pockets that don't exist no more, like the Cabrini Green and all that stuff that's been knocked down and gentrified. So the area that it is now is way different than what it was before, So a lot of things are changing. You can see the change, and it's just moving the folks, the poverty-ridden more south, further south or west out of the city.
Right, out of that downtown area.
Out of the downtown.
Because that's in any city.
Suburbs.
It's been like that too, man. Yeah. Like that downtown, for whatever reason, has always been that populous.
There goes up,
And so people have to go outwards from downtown, to get value. Same thing in Seattle, it's just, and I think that's one thing that I think saved a lot of people that moved up out here too, because they realized quickly, okay, downtown is expensive, period. So if you're trying to get a crib, you better get something on the outskirts, because everybody's going to be moving outwards anyway. So if you think you're going to get in the market coming downtown, that's tough, man. And there were a lot of areas in Chicago too, especially where
because you got that prime real estate, you got the water, you got the museum, you got downtown, you got all the sports parks.
Yep.
That's right in the central hub of the city. So the further south, the further west you go, or the further north, or east. People call it east, but you know, over east. But the further east you go, you in the water. You go to Indiana east because of Lake Michigan. But it just spreads out further away from the city. So then you have those different neighborhoods or cities that's all comprised of people that's got moved out, or that's got that gentrification pushed them further to the south of what you could afford.
Do you think people will take the same mentalities that they had in those old neighborhoods when they're forced to move to these other directions, or do you think they try to do something different?
It'll probably be more so like staking claim to what you have then, and it might not be everyone that got pushed to these certain neighborhoods all are on the same page or all represent what because your experience is your block, your neighborhood, that's what you represent. So that's where you see a lot of the stuff that's going on. You got beefs and you got all the stuff from
other neighborhoods and stuff, like gangs and stuff.
It's all together in these small, proximity. All these different neighborhoods, different boroughs, different sets, or whatever it is. So the further out you go, the more you're gonna see that.
Yeah, because the housing actually is scarcer out that way. The transportation is not as involved. The further you go out from downtown, like now there's still buses and stuff, but like I know Pace Bus and CTA, there was like two different bus lines, and like after like 9 o'clock, like Pace wouldn't run like past South Side Chicago and way out there. So it was just they knew what they were doing, man, when they were trying to keep people in certain areas. Because if you can't get on the bus, then guess what? Now you got to drive into town. This has been my philosophy, and now you can police the people a lot more in a vehicle.
The projects are the $1 million condos and townhomes. That's right, overlooking the city. Bronzeville area is like it's like a urban black mecca of Bronzeville is actually real dope. It's actually growing, man. The scene around Bronzeville is way different. You can see the flip.
Yep.
I was gonna say Harlem-ish, but I'm not going even do comparison. But that usually give that type of vibe.
That type of vibe.
All right.
Yep. Because I went to school down there at IIT. Shout out Il-Tech crew. And so there was a lot of changes happening around 2003, 2004. They did a lot of construction. They built the
construction still going on,
but they built that dome, remember, over the L system there, so you can actually stop the train like right at the school. And I was there before they started building that stuff, man. I was seeing them build the dome. They were talking about it, and it was a big deal. And now, you know, just to come back and see that, you know, if you, 20 years later, you're just like, wow, like a lot has changed.
Obama
Experience.
Memorial Library going up right now.
Wow.
As we speak,
Shout out Obeezy. Thank you for your presidency. Whew.
Yeah, it's just getting, and then they put the bid in for the new casino that's going in downtown. They're still trying to move the Bears out to Arlington Park, so
Wow. It's a lot of
Arlington
movements.
Heights. So it's definitely a lot of change coming to Chicago. It's just a matter of when it's gonna get done. Like I said, they've been working on 94 294 for the longest. That's been getting worked on since I've been young, and that same exit getting by rush.
Listen.
Still packed up every time.
That's the returning contract. They got a 30-year contract on that thing, man.
Man.
Just paint it 1
What's
year
that
and
one
that's
cat
it.
from the NBA that's still getting paid? Oh man, I forgot cat's name. I might have to find it. We're gonna get that on another episode.
You know what I just realized, man? We didn't even do our intro. We just got right to it,
No,
man.
just
That's
got
how we
right
did
to
it.
it.
That's how we do it, man. But that's a blessing in itself. But it was just hot off the presses, man. Because it's a lot, man, going on out here, and you gotta make sure you have the best information you can get, man. And y'all been rocking with us for a while. We appreciate it, and we know things are, tough in certain places right now. But you gotta keep your head up. Know that it's temporary, and our mind makes it a lot worse than we think it is. But not belittle any situations or anything like that out here. If you're going through things, especially mental health issues or problems, things like that, please reach out to professionals. Don't be alone in these times. Community is always where it's at. So that's just my little public service announcement, man.
Go ahead and close it out,
Yeah,
then.
you already
I'm
there.
just saying, man, if you want to hear more about what's happening and getting more gems dropped from 3 Black Men and STEM trying to win, come back and holler at your boys. For real. 2 Shot Guys of My High. 2 CGMH. You know what's up. How we do it, Drip.
Nah, close it.
You got new clothes.
How we close it out? Well, you know what I'm saying? Like the content, love the content, rate the content. You know what I'm saying? You out here in your car listening. You know what I'm saying? Turn it up so somebody next to you can hear some of these things that we're talking about. Because it's, man, listen, if we had this information, I'm just going to speak for me. If I had this information, man, any of this information where people were going through things and they were trying to, just explain their side of it, like, take this information and use it to your best of your abilities, because information can really save you and transform you if applied right. So we're going to leave it like that, man. It's your boy, Al-Diga, the architect, always building together.
It's your boy WB. Go fly with me, but you can't fly for free.
It's P-Wil, Drip Chronicles, Mr. Feel Good. It's 2 Shot Guys of My High. We signing out. Peace.